Okay, in this video I'm going to do another demonstration of finding a quadratic equation when you're giving three random data points. Now they're not necessarily random. These 3 points are going to be on some kind of a curved parabolic line. Okay, and we want to know what the equation is that goes through those 3 points. And again, these are pretty neat types of equations because this is really kind of more realistic, isn't it? Because a lot of times you'll be given information in the real world and you have to figure out what the organizational factor is. What's the equation that organizes these 3 points? Now, what exactly do I mean by finding the quadratic equation here? Well, again, it would probably be a good idea if we could remind ourselves what the quadratic equation is and what's the standard form for a quadratic equation. So let me just go ahead and write that in here real quick. The standard form for a quadratic equation, again, is a, some coefficient, x squared, plus b times x, plus c is equal to some y. Okay? Now, these 3 points are basically telling me that for this x, when I put it through this part of the equation, the function part, I'm going to produce a y of 7. For this point, when I put in the x of 3, when I put it through the function part, again this part's called the function, I'm going to produce a y of 15. And when I put this x through that same equation, I'm going to produce a y of 79. So what is that common equation that fits all 3 of those points? Okay, that's what we're trying to find. And by doing that, we need to find the a, the b, and the c. And this time we're going to find that equation using a calculator, TI-84 calculator. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go ahead and start our problem. We'll call this paragraph number 1. Let's use the point 1, 7. If we put 1, 7 through here, basically what we're saying is that a times x, which is 1, squared, plus b times 1, plus c is going to produce the y value of 7. Now let's clean this up just a little bit. A times 1 squared actually is just 1a, so it's going to be a plus 1b plus c is equal to 7. So now we've got the equation a plus b plus c is going to be equal to 7. Now let's go ahead and highlight that, and I'll show you why we're going to highlight that here in just a second. Now in our second paragraph, again, because this is just like writing a little essay, right? You want to keep things organized. You have to stay very organized in these problems because there's so much writing that in order for the person to follow what you're doing, which is very important, and students sometimes don't quite appreciate that really what's almost as important as getting the right answer is showing how you got the right answer, because people need to understand what you're doing. We're going to take the point 315 and we're going to put in x as 3, so a times 3 squared plus b times 3 plus c is going to give us the coordinate rather 5, 3, 5. Okay, so let's clean this up a little bit. A 3 squared is 9a plus 3b plus c is equal to 5. So now we have another equation. And let's go ahead, and that works specifically for that 3, 5 point. Let's do a third paragraph, and let's work with 79, and do the exact same thing. 7 squared plus b times 7 plus c is equal to 79, which gives us 49a plus 7b plus c is equal to 79. And there's my third equation. Now this is forming a 3-equation, 3-variable system of equations. Okay, and remember what systems of equations do. Systems of equations finds the common intersection for all 3 of the equations that you have. So essentially what we're doing is we're trying to find what's common between these 3 points, which would give us a good shot at finding what the quadratic equation is for going through those 3 points. Now instead of doing it manually, we're going to use the TI-84 calculator on this one. Let me bring that in here just a little bit. There we go. And we're going to use a program that's called the let me write that in there, the Poly Root Finder and Simultaneous Equation Solver, or PolySmelt. I think it's written as PlySmelt. Let me just check it just to make sure. You can find it under the Apps button, so go down to here, go under Applications, and if you want to find, it starts with the P, so use the Alpha button, because the Alpha, if you can notice that there's green letters along here, the alphabet, so Alpha, and the P would be Alpha 8, and sure enough, there it is, PolySmelt, it looks like, which is Poly Root Finder and Simultaneous Equation Solver, because we want to, again, use 3 equations to solve this one. So if you don't have that, you can download it from the TI-84 website. It's a free application. So PolySmelt, enter, and sure enough, there it is. And let's go ahead and enter it again. And you look, there's actually 6 different things on the main menu. We want the simultaneous equation solver. So let's go to 2, press enter. And this is going to ask us for how many equations we're trying to solve for. In this case, we're trying to solve for 3 equations. We want to find the intersection for 3 equations with 3 unknowns. So let's put in 3 and 3 in there, which we already have. Press enter. And what pops up is this matrix, okay, this system matrix. Now, it's already got the numbers loaded in here, but actually, let me just clear them for you. Clear, whoops, let me try that again. Let's go backwards. I'll just press enter. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And let's go back this way, 0, 0. Okay, so this is ready to receive the coefficients on this side and what it's equal to, the y on this side. Okay, now let's look at our system of equation. Let's look at our matrix. Our matrix has 1, 1, 1, and 7. Okay, because those are A, B, and C are just 1, 1, 1. For the first equation, it's 9, 3, 1, and 5 for the second equation, and it's 49, 7, 1, and 79 for the third equation. So that's what we want to put in here, and this is going to solve it for us simultaneously. All right, so let's go ahead and enter those numbers. 1, enter, 1, enter, 1, enter, and then 7, enter, 9, enter, 3, enter, 1, enter, 5, enter, 49, 7, 1, and 79. Go ahead and press the solve button, which is, it says main, new, clear, load, solve. It's just basically this button right here. So let's press that one. And that gives us our answer right there. Let me just make sure I did that right. 1, 1, 1, 7, 9, 3, 1, 5. Ah, there's my mistake. Notice I said 5. It should be 15, shouldn't it? So let's go back up here and correct our mistake. That should be 15. And let's go back and change that. All right. So let's hit the back button. Go over to there and press in 15. Press enter. Everything else is good. Let's go back and press solve now. And there's our coefficients. Now notice it doesn't say A, B, and C. It says x1, x2, x3. That's just a different notation. But basically what this is saying that is, and we'll call this our last paragraph, that our A is equal to 2, our B is -4, and our C is a +9. Now if we were to put that into our standard form, we are going to get 2x² plus a negative 4x, or just minus x, or minus 4x rather. Let's just go ahead and rewrite that way. Minus 4x plus 9 is equal to y. If I were to put any of these points through this equation, it would actually work. Let's just try one of the random points. Let's try the 1 and the 7. So 2 times 1 squared minus 4 times 1 plus 9 should be equal to 7. Let's just go ahead and check that. 1 squared is 1 times 2, it's 2. Minus 4 times 1 is 4. Gives me negative 2 plus 9. Negative 2 plus 9 is equal to 7. Sure enough, it works. And it will work for 315, and it'll work for 779 too. Let's just do it quickly. Yes, again, 2x squared minus 4x plus 9 is equal to y. Let's just try it with a 3. 2 times 3 squared minus 4 times 3 plus 9 should be equal to 15, not 5, like I did during the problem. So that's going to give me 9. 2 times 9 is 18. 4 times 3 is 12. 18 minus 12 is negative 6. Is 6 rather. 6 plus 9 is equal to 15. So it works on that one as well. And I'll just go ahead and leave it to you to put in 7 and 79. But there's your equation that fits through those 3 data points. Okay? So again, real briefly, the process is, remember that these are the x and the y's. So put in the x's and the y's. Just get the a, b, and the c. Get 3 equations. Do it for each of the points. You'll get 3 different equations. Put it into the TI-84 calculator. Under the app, again, which is called Poly Root Finder and Simultaneous Equation Solver, PolySmelt, you'll find a matrix. Enter the different numbers for the different variables. Create a matrix right here. You'll form a system of equations, and it'll do the work for you. Okay? I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.